Hi, so this could be a little different. I would film an intro, but my camera is a little messed up, so this is gonna be recapping my 4th of July weekend because a lot happened and I've always wanted to do this kind of style, but I never really felt like I had good enough content, and I think I do now, so let's do a recap. A picnic. It took a while to find a spot where we wanted to set up, and when we finally did find one, we weren't sure if we were gonna get shot or not. But we weighed out the options, and I don't know if it was the belief that we could outrun the bullets or the quick Google search that showed it was public property. But either way, we said fuck it, and we went onto this land, and we'll never know why. And we finally got the blanket set up after dodging as many ant hills as possible. And this is Jules. You probably already know who she is if you follow me, since we don't go anywhere without each other, but she is my best friend. We took 50,000 pictures because we are both kleptomaniacs, of course. We played games and we ate melted cake and we solved the Zodiac killer case. You're welcome. But no, it was actually just really fun, and luckily it wasn't like too hot because I have heat issues. Trust me, you're gonna get an earful about that, but I wasn't overheating, and it was just a really fun time overall. We got done. We went to so many stores, but nobody had sparklers. But I was able to find a couple in my room, but most of them ended up being duds. So I may have burnt the hell out of my hand trying to get her sparklers, but I got a couple. The next few days were just rest days to prepare for 4th of July. And I just spent them over at my boyfriend's and we just relaxed. But it was way too hot to be doing anything anyway. It's been 100 all week. So, yeah, there's no leaving the house in that point. Then, the day of my first podcast came around. And I was on the Twisted Wanderer podcast, hosted by a very lovely lady. And it was such a wonderful experience. And we went over my scoliosis and my death and some other emotional and medical topics and stories and stuff. I don't know if it's out now when this comes out, so like you might have to wait a little bit longer, but I don't know. But yeah, no, it was such a cool experience. But since after that I had the adrenaline of a tower climber poorly circulating through my veins, I filmed a different YouTube video. Oh, I gotta take my teeth out. That's awesome. And I'm still working on that because now I'm hyperfixated on the one you're watching. And then of course I went over to my boyfriend's house. The big day finally came. It is 4th of July. Kinda didn't know what we were doing because we had so many people up in the air. But the first thing in line ended up being a hike to a river and cliff jumping. So that was super exciting. And before I get into that story, this is Chance, my boyfriend. You might be wondering how he got up there, but so am I, so you tell me when you know, that way I know. Deal? The hike was a bit rough for me, because obviously I'm disabled, but more specifically because of the heat. I can't circulate my blood, so I can't regulate the heat in my body. As my boyfriend would put it, because he figured that out first. The hike ended up being about, I would say, 20 to 30 minutes, and I was really struggling, but oh my gosh, my boyfriend did so much. I didn't know what we were doing that day, and my shoes had like no grip, and then I was also weak from the heat, so I was just stumbling the entire time. And he almost ate shit so many times for me. So that was super sweet. When he would see me like turning purple, kept pouring water on my neck to cool down my body. And then he even took his shirt and then dunked it in the water to get it soaked. And then he made me wear it, which sucked at first, but it was a really smart and really good thing to help my body stay cool for a while. There's so many emotions. I was like, I'm dying, but I'm happy to be dying in this way. But finally, after all that, we made it to like an area we were comfortable swimming in, and once I finally got in the shade and in the water, I was totally regulated in my body, and it was a wonderful time. Him and his friend started cliff jumping, which was very cool to watch, and I absolutely would have loved to, but unfortunately with these limbs I can't properly swim, so I could not be cliff jumping. But I got to just take videos, which I'm happy to be doing because the cameraman never dies, so at least I know I was secure. And then the hike back finally began. I don't remember much of it, to be honest. I remember Chance climbing more things, and then I was in the car because I was, again, overheating. In his friend's neighborhood, we did some baby fireworks, and it was enough time to kind of get my body regulated. I know I use that word a lot, but it's a very useful word when it comes to my health. And we had our next outing already like in line, like we had to be there in like 20-15 minutes. So having that intermission was definitely helpful. Nighttime finally came around, and then the lovely Jules joined us, which was so cool. And this was kind of like really their first time like hanging out and meeting. They had met once prior, but it was under kind of iffy, chaotic circumstances, so it wasn't like they could actually like bond and stuff. So being able to celebrate and get them to like actually know each other was really cool and really exciting for me, and I wasn't nervous at all. You were nervous. I wasn't nervous. No, I think everyone had a lot of fun, and we finally started lighting off fireworks, and we took lots and lots of pictures. Pictures or it didn't happen. And Jules finally lit off her first firework. She might kill me for saying that, but no, I was very excited for her.
Was that hot or was that hot?
Yeah, and then we all just really chilled and listened to music, and there was a bunch of other fireworks going off everywhere, which was so awesome. And you know, these two were themselves. And it was also just super cool for Chance and I to celebrate our first 4th of July together, so that was sweet. And yeah, and after a little while, when we ran out of fireworks, we just sat around and all talked. And after a long night, we all went our ways, and Chance and I pretty much instantly passed out. We were exhausted. In the next 2-ish days, yeah, I think it was, dude, I don't even remember what the days are anymore. The next like 2-ish days were just rest days. I need to retire. I need to retire already. And then for the last event this week, Chance, Jules, and I all went river rafting together, which was absolute chaos. Jules got her turtle floaty, and then I got Chance and I like a double floaty that was tied together because I have attachment issues. Kidding, kind of. But no, it was like way sturdier. But we tied them all together, we got everything set up. So it was absolute chaos, and a lot of things happened that day. But I think if I have mentioned any of it, they both together will kill me, and that will be their bonding experience that I'm hoping for. So that might work in my benefit, but I wouldn't be there to see the benefit. So I'm not going to mention anything besides what I can't talk about, because I had a fuck up that day. So you're going to hear about it. We finally get done after going through World War II over here, and you know, when you go rafting, you have the car at the top for when you first start the stream, and you have the car at the bottom. So when you get done and everyone's tired, you just get in the car, and then you can drive 20 minutes to the other car. You don't have to walk all the way. We get out, get everything deflated, and as we're like about to approach Bumblebee, I realized I don't have my fucking keys on me. We're not getting in this fucking Camaro. Uh-oh. And I have to just be like, hey, you both love me, right? I don't have the keys, and their faces. No, I mean, obviously, fuck. But they thought it was also funny. We were all just laughing about it. And I'm like, okay. And I mean, luckily, but also unluckily, so the other car, which was Jules' car, was 15 minutes away. So it was a 15-minute walk, which isn't horrible to most, but we're in like 110 heat, just got off the fucking boats. My disabled ass, who has to go like 2 miles an hour. So it felt a lot worse than a regular 15-minute walk would be. And I definitely learned my lesson. You could say that. I won't do that again. We finally got in Jules' car, drove back to my car, got everything set up, and then went on our ways. And Chance and I went back to the house, and we binged our cop show that we're watching, and eventually just passed the fuck out. And now I'm here talking to you. So yeah, that was my week in recap, and a lot of different things, a lot of really fun things. And I would say this isn't like normal, because it never used to be. I am kind of antisocial, and I've used to pretty much always been. But as of recently, like not even just because it's summer, but because of these two motherfuckers and me being more comfortable in life, this is kind of normal. Like something has happened every week. I'm usually always doing something. I'm always driving somewhere. And I think it's actually really cool, and I'm really happy to be making these stories. And I would love to know what you did on 4th of July, or on that day if you don't celebrate 4th of July. Thank you for listening and watching. Bye!